listening to The Mark Cox Show. Find everything Mark Cox at 971talk.com/Cox.
Susan Page, USA Today's Washington bureau chief, said Mr. Trump has defied a presidential tradition of not personally attacking your predecessor.
Even President Obama, when he took over, was critical of President George W. Bush, but he never criticized him personally in the way President Trump has now criticized President Obama.
He's just offering slogans, and he's offering fear.
Yeah, I don't remember President Obama personally insulting Donald Trump at all, do you? That was a CBS report where they had the gall to suggest that the short-term memory that President Obama never criticized anybody personally, never attacked anybody personally. His first 5 years in office, he blamed everything on George W. Bush. So it's just... that allegation is just ludicrous. One more example of problems in the media. By the way, some great stuff from Cheryl Atkinson. Remember her? Former investigative reporter for CBS. She's got a book coming out, and she's made some comments that people need to hear about her own personal, the attacks that were made on her personally, and she's not convinced that they didn't come from the Obama administration. She's pretty sure they came from the Obama administration, and I'll bet you there was no FISA warrant when it was done. Anyway, let's get to our guest, please.
Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother, man?
All right, Chris Arps, how are you, buddy?
I am doing fantastic, Mark.
I don't think your mic's on. Hold on, you got him on over there?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm still not hearing him. What's going on? He's on Church's mic. You got him?
It's the Russians.
That's it. The Russians.
The Russians.
Did it.
Or it's just the producer.
You know what? This weather is just, I feel so good because the weather's just so nice and springy.
You got to, aren't you afraid the other foot's going to drop here at some point? I mean, we've had snow as late as mid-April. I'm thinking.
I'll take it, though. I looked at my calendar this weekend, and I saw that daylight savings time is over next weekend. And I was all happy, and Becky's like, why are you all happy about that? And I'm like, because it won't get dark at 5 o'clock.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that's why.
That's good.
I hate
It'll be
daylight
darker in the
savings.
morning, but that's okay.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Are you the official master of ceremonies for all Republican events in St. Louis
I am
now?
not. Why do you think that?
Because every Republican event, Mark Cox is the MC.
That is not true.
Everyone.
Well, no, it's not. Why would you say that?
Hey, that's an honor.
I haven't been to all of them.
That's an honor that people choose you to be the MC. It's all good.
Well, he's poking fun of me here because I showed up at the Trump rally out there in Baldwin the other day, and they asked me to MC it. Yes. So I wasn't really planned in advance. It just kind of happened.
And you did a great job.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, excellent.
He just said that because I was so nice to him when I introduced him.
Exactly.
Called him my brother from another mother.
Exactly.
And,
And that check is still in the mail.
Is it? That's
Yeah.
good. We're glad to hear that. That's fantastic. But yeah, I am going to MC the Reagan-Lincoln Day dinner coming up at the end of the month.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I'm just saying.
You got jokes?
Hey, the money's right. You know what I'm saying?
You got some jokes?
No.
Okay.
No. I got nothing. I got nothing except my Donald Trump pin that talks.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
How about that?
Keep that, because when your grandkids are like my age, that thing will be worth $1 million.
I'm really rich.
And that's his actual voice, right?
Well, it is his actual voice. One of our listeners came up and gave this to me at the rally the other day.
Which, because you got that beautiful Donald Trump hair, I thought it was a pen of you at first.
Thank you. My hair's not that
I was
blonde.
like,
Thank you.
I'm like, he's really getting big time. He's having pins made up of himself.
He thought I had my own bobblehead pen there when he came in.
I was impressed. Impressed.
You've been paying attention the last couple of days. What do you think about this wiretapping issue? I've been wanting to pick your brain on that.
I find it very hard to believe that the president would make a charge like that without some type of proof. So I'm waiting for later that they're going to bring that out. But as I said on my Facebook page, I just wish that he could be a little more disciplined. And if you're going to do something like that, at least tell your staff. Right. So that they're not completely blindsided.
Well, when the Department of Homeland Security chief Kelly was being interviewed, and they asked him, "Is there anything to this?" All he could say was, "Well, I don't suspect the president would have said it if he didn't have proof." But clearly, it hadn't been discussed with him. So I would, you have to assume he's got access to information that we don't.
Donald Trump is a master showman, and as we've seen during the campaign, he knows how to tease stuff and get people's interest all ginned up, and then drop whatever he's got on them. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I wish he would have done it in a little more presidential manner, but when, like I said on my Facebook page, when I voted for Donald Trump, I wasn't expecting FDR or Reagan or, so I kind of knew what I was getting, so I'm not completely shocked by it.
Yeah. Well, here's the bottom line. We talked a lot about this yesterday. Is it just semantics? I mean, if James Clapper, who doesn't have a great track record, can come out and claim that we didn't wiretap anybody because I would have known about it, maybe it wasn't a wiretap.
Exactly.
I mean, Trump may be referring to it as a wiretap, but maybe it was just electronic surveillance. Maybe you don't know. I mean, if the NSA tracked it in from Russia to some server in Trump Tower, did they have to go at it from the FISA court? We don't know. I'm sure he did. I have a hard time believing that that there isn't something to this.
Same here, and that begs another question. Maybe Clapper didn't know. Even if he was the DNI or whatever his job was, maybe some shadow government, like people are saying, did all this without his knowledge. He may not know.
Well, if we're going to start talking about conspiracy theories, we're going to have to get Mama Kay on the microphone here because she's good at those. So pull your mic down there, Lisa. Okay. We've got Mama Kay's in the studio. Just pull that mic down there. Get her on. Get her on. Hold on. So Lisa's with us today, known affectionately on Twitter as Mama Kay. You're going to have to get closer to the mic. Have I not taught you anything here? There you go. That's okay. That's all right.
This is all new to me.
This is all... No, you've been on before.
Oh,
come on, you used to be on Glover's show, right?
No.
You were on Glover's show once.
Well, in a pit.
Oh, in a pit for that Halloween thing years ago, right?
We had a lavalier microphone.
We needed to
Mark,
explain
not everybody
that. Glover
is
wasn't trying to bury her in a pit. She was on one of his Halloween specials years ago.
Not everybody is a broadcast professional.
That's right.
Yeah, but she's been hanging around me for so long, I figured the osmosis, it would just wear off, right?
Well, and I didn't bring earplugs.
Oh, that's true, because I talk so late. Ooh, wow. That's awesome. Any thoughts on what you've been hearing about the wiretapping at the Trump Tower? I know you've been reading up on it.
No.
You don't have anything for me at all? Nothing at all?
No, I don't.
Wow.
I know, isn't it terrible?
I
came unprepared. I brought food. I didn't bring.
She did bring me food, so I'll have to. This is a good time for me to mention this. So there's a sandwich shop out in Chesterfield, and they've also got a place in De Pere called Witch. I used to eat there all the time before this job, and when the ladies there found out I was down here, they were kind enough to cater some lunch in here for us today. And it was outstanding. Lisa delivered it, and I just can't thank her enough, and I can't thank them enough.
So shout out to Miss Peggy and Ms. Robbie down there at the Chesterfield Witch.
Yeah, it's right there. That one's on Clarkson, close to Baxter, and I think they've got another one on Manchester, not far from the West County Mall. So
you must be a great guy.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
I just spent a lot of money in there. Great food, though. Good stuff. Lots to talk about. I also want to get into this situation with Ben Carson yesterday. I'd be interested in picking your brain on it, primarily because you went on Facebook and said you weren't going to talk about it. So I'm going to call you out on the air and make you talk about it.
And you know what I thought about when I was coming down here? A whole different subject. There's an election today.
There is an election in the city.
I completely had forgotten about it.
In fact, in the next hour, we're going to have on Lewis Reed, who's one of the candidates who's running, who agreed to come in today during Election Day. So polls have been open all day. It's, the Democratic primary normally determines who the mayor is in the city.
Exactly.
And last time I saw it was Lyda Crewson and Lewis Reed were the two top candidates in that race, although Crewson had a bit of a lead in the last poll I saw.
After saying Mayor Slay for so long, I'm starting to practice saying Mayor Crewson.
And what a shame. I mean, we've brought this up before, but it strikes me, and I know that there are allegations of ghost candidates and people who run just to siphon votes away. And I haven't heard any of that this time. But you've got at least 4 prominent African Americans in St. Louis vying for this race, and Lyda Crewson. And if people believe that the white candidate in St. Louis always gets a bunch of the white vote and the black candidates get a bunch of the black votes, they're just defeating their own purpose, having 4 people still in the primary. It strikes me that, they could have just come together and made some sort of an agreement and picked who they wanted to run against Cruzen, and it would have been a more even race.
Well, the problem with that is all 4 of them can't stand each other.
Well, there's that.
So that's going to be a little, that's going to make it a little difficult for one person to kind of drop out.
Yeah, Rodney Boyd is going to join us with more on that
Rod the
later
Bod.
as well. Rod the Bod will be in here. So we'll get to that and more. Want to talk about Ben Carson's comments yesterday. I'll let you listen to them first, and then we'll kick it around with Chris. Mama Kay, thanks for coming into the studio.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for bringing us food today. Thanks to those folks at Which. 314-969-9797, 866-455-9797. You're listening to The Mark Cox Show, and we'll be back in just a minute.
This is the Mark Cox Show. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
The big-time, fast-moving thunderstorms now out of the picture. Clearing skies giving way to a fair amount of sunshine today. It is windy and 60 degrees, so it's a little bit cooler today, especially out in the wind. Tonight, clear, kind of cold, 38. Wednesday, lots of sunshine, 65 degrees. Thursday's quiet, but some rain showers Thursday night. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
When you talk to the folks at Victory Men's Health, they draw your attention to a couple of things. Things happen slowly from, you get into your 30s, men, and you may start to notice that you don't have quite as much energy as you had before. It can start as early as 30. You get in your 40s, you get in your 50s. Maybe you're not sleeping as well. Maybe you're having some joint pain. Maybe you've got the abdominal weight around the middle that you just can't manage to get rid of. A lot of this can be connected to hormones. It could be testosterone. It could be vitamin deficiencies. At Victory Men's Health, they focus with a staff urologist.